my little yarnivores and spiderettes. Fiber Spider back again with another tutorial just for you. Hi there. Hope all of you are doing really well today. I'm doing spiffy because, well, it's that time of the week where I get to show you a new lovely lacy stitch. This is a little something that I call the Mullioned Window Fillet Stitch, or the Mullion Fillet, or something in that line. I haven't quite decided, but at any rate, this stitch, it works up super duper fast. It is really easy with about a 6-row repeat, and I think that this would make an incredible wrap or a coverlet, maybe a beach cover-up, something like that. I love this, and it works up so fast. So yeah, it's about a 6-row repeat. For this particular project, I decided on Lion Brand's Pound of Love in the colorway of Elephant Gray. It is about a 4 weight, so I used a size 5.5, a size I, crochet hook. You can, of course, use whatever works best for you. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. Okie dokie. So first things first, the base chain. As per usual, for this particular stitch, you're going to need a multiple of 12 stitches plus an additional 5 chains. So you can make this as wide or as narrow as you want to. Me, right here, I have 3 multiples of 12, which is 36, plus my additional 5. So right now I have here a total of 41 chains. You can of course make this as wide or as narrow as you want to, but as always I do suggest make up a swatch first, and that way you can determine how many multiples you'll need for your desired width of a larger project. And also it'll get you used to how the stitch works. So get your base chain ready, multiple of 12 plus an additional 5, and we'll get started. Okay. Okay, row 1. So first things first, we're going to count 8 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so into that 8th chain, we're going to do a double crochet. Now you could work into the top loop of the V or into the back bump on the other side, really whatever you choose. I'm going to go into the top loop of the V because I think it's a little bit easier. So into that 8th chain from the hook, double crochet, and then from here going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 chains, and into that 3rd chain, single crochet. Chain 3, skip 2 chains into the 3rd chain, double crochet, and that's going to create the base of one of our windows. Okay, chain 2, skip 2 chains into the 3rd, double crochet, chain 2, skip 2 chains again into the 3rd, double crochet, and then we're going to create another one of our window bases. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2 chains, single into the 3rd, chain 3, skip 2 chains, double into the 3rd. That creates the base of another window right there. Chain 2, skip 2 chains, double in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, double in the next. Then we're going to create another window. So chain 3, skip 2 chains and single in the 3rd, chain 3, skip 2 chains, double in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, and double in the last chain. And there you are. So we have, because we did 3 multiples, we have 3 windows that are going to be on our baseline there. All right, let's continue. Okay, row 2. Now, there are, of course, different schools of thought when you chain up to make your first double crochet. Personally, I like to use 2 chains for my first double, and we also need a chain 2 space, so chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the work, and double crochet into that first double crochet there. And then we need the top of this window here. So chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip this single crochet and into the next double crochet, double crochet. Again, nice big window right there. And then chain 2, double into the next double, chain 2, and double into the next double. And we have ourselves another window, so chain 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Then, skipping the single, double into the next double to create that window. Chain 2, double into the next double, chain 2, and double into the next double. And going to create our last window here. So chain 7, double into the next double, chain 2. Now you could do a double crochet into this chain space. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip 2 chains, and then into that third chain, going to do my double crochet, my final double. Makes it look just a little bit neater. Like so. So you're skipping these 2 chains up here and then going to that third one. But you could, of course, like I said, go into the space. That is totally fine as well. And that, my dears, is the end of row 2. Row 3. So again, going to start off by chaining up 4. It's the same on every row. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and turn your work. Double crochet into that first double. Okay, I missed apply. I'll get it. There we go. Okay, and then we have to create the top framework for this window. So chain 2 and single crochet around in the middle or so of this chain 7. Chain 2 and double crochet into the next double. And that gives our window a nice framework, like so. Chain 2, double in the next double, chain 2, double in the next double, chain 2, single, around the middle of the chain space, chain 2, double in the next double, chain 2, double in the next double, chain 2, double in the next double, chain 2, single about the middle of that chain, chain 2, double into the next double, chain 2, and again, you could go into the chain space, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the second chain from the bottom, 1, 2, and double crochet into that chain. It's either the third from the top or the second from the bottom, either or it's the same one. And there you go. And that is the end of row 3. So we have our first series of little windows ready to rock and roll. All right, let's keep going. Okay, so it's the next 6 rows that are the repeat. So it's rows 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that way, when you do your repeat, you will end up with the same little window that we started with. So that being said, row 4, that is, of course, if you want symmetry. Technically, you could always end these stitches wherever you want to, but just saying. So start off with chaining up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the work. Double into the next double. Chain 2. Double into that single down there. Chain 2. And double into the next double. Okay, now because we want our windows to be offset, we're now going to create a window in this space right here. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single into the next double, chain 3, double into the next double, and that creates the foundation for the next window. Chain 2, double into that single, chain 2, double into the next double, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single into the next double, because we're creating another window, again, that is in between our existing ones. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double into the next double, chain 2, double into the single, chain 2, double into the next double, chain 2, and then double into the second chain from the bottom. And there you go. So you can see that the 2 spaces in between, we're now going to have 2 little windows right here and here. All right, let's continue. Row 5. Well, row 5, we need to flesh out our windows a little bit. So start off by chaining up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Double into that first double. Chain 2. Double into the next double. Chain 2. And double into the next double. Okay, now chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip that single, work our way across to that next double with a double. Chain 2. Double in the next double. Chain 2. Double in the next double. And another chaining of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Thank you. Skip the single, double into the next double. Chain 2. Double into the next double. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. And double into the second chain from the bottom. And there you go. So now we've got 2 new windows. Now we just have to frame them in the next row. So let's get to it. Okay, row 6, chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn the work. And double into that first double. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. And double into the next. Chain 2. Single into the middle of the chain space. Chain 2. Double into the next double. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Then single into the chain space. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. And double into that second chain from the bottom. And there you are. And that is the end of row 6. And so now we have 2 complete sets of offset windows. And then the next 3 rows, 7, 8, and 9, we're going to be basically repeating that first bunch that we did down there. All right, let's get to it. Okay, row 7, which is very much like row 1, but now we actually have something to work with. We've got a foundation going on here. So start off with chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and turn the work. Double into the next. And just like down here, we're going to create a new window. So chain 3. And single into the next double. Chain 3. And double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the single. Chain 2. Double into the next. Okay, and then in this space right here, we need to do another window. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single into the next double, chain 3, 1, 2, 3, double into the next, chain 2, double into the single, chain 2, double into the next, and one more window right above this window. So chain 3, 1, 2, 3, single into the next, chain 3, double into the next, chain 2, and double into the second chain from the bottom. And there you go. So you can see here, 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 and here, we're going to have windows that line up with our initial ones and are offset with the ones that we just did. All right, let's continue. All right, row 8. Again, chain up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and turn your work. Double into the next. Okay, now we need to flesh out this window, give it a window pane, so to speak. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double into the next double. Skip that single down there. There we go. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. Okay, we need a new window, so chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Double into the next double, skipping that single. There we are. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. And we need one more window. So chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Skip the single, double into the next double. Chain 2. And double into the second chain from the bottom. And there you go. That is row 8. We're almost there. Okay, row 9. Last but certainly not least. Start off by chaining up 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn your work. Double into that first double. Chain 2. And single into the middle of the chain. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. And single into the middle of the chain. Chain 2. Double into the next. Chain 2. Double into the next. chain 2, double into the next, chain 2, and single into the middle of that chain, chain 2, double into the next, chain 2, and second chain from the bottom, do your last single crochet. And there you are. So that's really all there is to it. It's just a matter of repeating rows 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 as many times as you want for your finished piece. And there you go. Alrighty, my dears, so that is essentially going to conclude today's tutorial. I do want to give one last little snippet of, a suggestion if you want to. At the very bottom edge here, or at the very top edge here, what you could conceivably do is, so that it is more in line with what we have going on here, where you have a complete edge of just the eyelets, what you could do, instead of starting off your piece by going right into the windows, what you could do is do your first double crochet still in the 8th chain from the hook, and then quite simply just chain 2, skipping 2 chains, double in the next, chain 2, skip 2 chains, double in the next, all the way across, and then do this row, which would have been, that's row 4, I believe. No, sorry. No, it would be row 1 would be essentially row 2, if that makes sense. I'm sorry, I'm sort of thinking on the fly. It doesn't always translate well. But the idea of doing just a solid row of eyelets and then starting in on this patterning row, if you want to frame out your piece a little bit more evenly, that's totally up to you. But I like to give options, I like to give you, food for thought and things that you can do if you are of a mind to do so. But, for me, it was sort of an afterthought, and I thought, I'll mention it. At any rate, all that yammering aside, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you liked the video, and if you did, please give a little thumbs up button down below, because you know that I appreciate your appreciation as always. And in the comments section, I want to hear from you. What sort of project, what sort of, yarns and colorways are you going to use for this particular stitch? Like, is it going to be a table runner? Is it going to be some curtains, a beach cover-up, a wrap, really whatever, Always interested in hearing from you guys. Ooh, a market tote bag. That would be really cool. So many possibilities. And because we are smack dab in the late beginning of the warm season, and I know this only too well because my central air is not working properly, so I'm dying here. This is perfect for this time of year. That being said, again, thank you so much, and you know what to do until next time, right? I want all of you to stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay stitching, and please stay safe. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you in my next video. Bye for now, everybody, and have a great day.